Sam, we're not going to do a separate session on the conclusion, but I do think you leave us some meat to chew on there, saying you're anticipating some reactions to the book that on the one hand, some people might fear that you've gone too far, and on the other hand, some people will wish that you would keep digging deeper. I wonder if you have some last words for us along those lines.
I felt very similarly about Nazareth Manifesto. I did talks around Nazareth Manifesto for several years before, during, and after writing the book. And I always got two reactions. I got the reaction that says, being with is too easy. We've got to right wrong in the world and end suffering, and you can't just do that with being with. And I got very tired of that reaction. And then there was a reaction that said, being with is too difficult. And I thought, those people now know what I'm talking about. These people have actually lived. They've, been with a parent with dementia for 10 years. They get it. Those are the people I really want to talk to, and those are the people I most respect. And it's very similar with this book. So, for example, one critic, not really a critic because he loved the book, I'm pleased to say, said, you don't go far enough. You need to do more about being with an Israel and what Paul's doing in Romans, with understanding Israel being with the nations, being with the Gentiles. That includes being with creation. So he wanted more in the Israel section and in the covenant section. And to which I put my hand up and said, fair enough, you've thought more about this than I do, but actually if I were to write the book again, I think that's great. I love that kind of criticism. You're really onto something, but you don't have the courage of your convictions, kind of thing. I get a bit tired of the kind of criticism you go too far.
Yeah.
Because, and we've talked about this in the session on chapter 10, because I just think my critics don't address even bigger problems about their own position. And just to say you go against a lot of what the New Testament is saying is not an argument for me. Right. I'm reading the New Testament too, but I'm also trying to address the profound theological problems, I guess, as a pastor, but also as a Christian myself. And I'm not finding that the critics who simply say that there's a lot in the New Testament about Christ Jesus came to the world to save sinners. I just don't think that, just throwing out a proof text against each other, I just don't think that's the way theologians should operate. So, if people come away from this course thinking, great, but I wish he went further, then I'd be absolutely delighted.
Thank you.